All right. We are back with Descent into Avernus, session 13, I think. We'll check that out later to make sure that I am right on that. We can reveal Honed and Elias, who are back with us this session. Got a full party here of 6 going on. So for those of you who may be joining for the first time, haven't seen this before, just a quick overview of the campaign and its goals. So this group of adventurers started near and around Elturel, a holy city, and before their very eyes, the city disappeared, just completely vanished out of sight. They found a local caravan and helped that caravan back towards Baldur's Gate along a 10-day journey. And upon reaching Baldur's Gate, they found that the city was under lockdown. Some of our compatriots here are members of the Flaming Fist, and the Flaming Fist gave them a mission to go investigate some murders in the outer city. And then hopefully after solving those murders, they can gain entrance for their non-Flaming Fist companions. And earn some gold along the way. Their investigation led them to suspect that this place called Hamhawk Slaughterhouse in the outer city may have something to do with these murders, especially after getting their butts kicked at a local inn that they were investigating by a mysterious shadow man. But yeah, that is an overall recap of kind of the campaign so far, and we'll get into a detailed recap of specifically last session in a little bit. But first of all, if we just kind of want our characters to do our brief introductions, Igvis, if you just want to explain who Igvis is and what he's all about.
Hello, my name is Manny, and I'm playing Igvis. Igvis is a winged tiefling who is a monk. He is a member of the Flaming Fist, and currently his primary goal is to try and help Dolakesh with the mission given to him by a departed friend of their mutual friend of theirs.
Perfect. Dolakesh?
My name's Eric. I play Dolakesh. He is a Emerald Dragonborn. A very shady figure wearing long dark robes and a mysterious book always at his back. He keeps his identity secret, except for the party. They all knew him as Craggle initially, a member of the Flaming Fist, but he has since revealed that it is an identity he took on from the previously noted departed comrade between Igvis and Dolakesh. Right now, he's very interested in investigating what's going on with Elturel. It's very much bothering him. But at the same time, he's mostly about just staying hidden, staying under the radar, and living his life.
Perfect. Honed?
I'm Nate. I'm playing Honed. I'm a Hildorf fighter. I'm just a short little guy, 4'2". Yeah, just a fighter. I'm here to kick some ass.
Sweet. Vati?
Hi, I'm Horace. I play Vati, who is a bugbear with some now very distinct demonic, fiendish features. He was initially sent to visit Elturel on investigation of their Order of Paladins. He since came back to his residency in Baldur's Gate, and now he seeks to make good on an agreement that he recently made.
Mysterious. Marza.
Hello, you can call me Bees. I play Marza. Marza is a halfling who is wrong. She looks generally plain, but she's green now. One could mistake it for maybe like an extreme fashion choice, maybe just some heavy makeup, but then you get to the ears that are now distinctly longer and almost kind of getting a fork in the end. And this circlet that she's been wearing sort of the whole time that's kind of grown more intricate and larger. And she's become a bit tense, a little flighty. She was on her way to Elturel for some personal reasons and has recently received a mysterious letter and has some things to deal with.
Elias.
Alright, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Alright, I play Elias, who is definitely just a wandering bard. Nothing else happening there.
Just a wandering bard.
Trust. Just trust Elias.
All right. Perfect.
Don't need to verify, just trust.
Now that we have our character introductions, we can go ahead and jump into the recap section. So at the beginning of every session, we have everybody roll a flat d20, and whoever rolls the lowest has to recap the events of last session specifically. So Elias and Hones, you are exempt from this, but if everybody else wants to go ahead and roll a flat d20 for us. Igvis rolled a 1. Gonna be hard to get lower than that.
I tried.
You did. You tried pretty hard there.
I got an 8.
I feel like it's always Igvis and Honed. I think, Vati, you've recapped once, right? Maybe?
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, I think every other time has been Igvis or Honed, right?
Those are more average play. You know, they're just Flaming Fist members. There's nothing crazy going on with them.
All right. Cool. Sounds good. So, yeah, Igvis, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and recap the events of last session.
Okay, so at the beginning of the last session, we were standing outside of the slaughterhouse after recently interrogating the front desk guy. Deciding to go in with a little bit more force, Igvis went in with the assistance of Dolakesh in order to try and squeeze a little bit more information out of him. While doing so, the owner, Pask, came out, and both him and the front desk guy were pretty shady and candid about their responses to us. While interrogating them, the front desk guy disappeared, casting some sort of spell, either invisibility, teleportation, not entirely sure. As soon as that happened, a fight broke out, and we ended up fighting the owner of the shop, some hidden cultist members in the back of their shop, and some abominations that came from their basement, essentially released by the guy who disappeared. While doing so, and after cornering the guy who disappeared originally, we were kind of ambushed by kind of like a shadow guy who I assume is the same one that stabbed me in the alleyway, that with his intervention took out the entire party and knocked us all out. When we awoke, we were in the basement of the slaughterhouse. 3 of us were together, and 1 was separated. Marza was separated, and all we could really hear was laughter and some screaming, all seeming to happen from Marza simultaneously. The abomination was also down there, but we were able to free ourselves, free Marza, and get out while leaving the abomination in the basement. I forget his name, but the front desk guy ended up escaping while we took out the rest of them. And now we are reporting back at this point.
Perfect. Great recap. Okay. So with that, let's change the map here. Right now we're gonna leave just Igvis there on that map. because the rest of the group here makes their way back to the Salty Dog Inn, which is in the Norchapel district of the outer city of Baldur's Gate. Dolakesh, along with Marza, decide to veer off into the Whitkeep district in order to sell his very large painting that he took off the wall in the slaughterhouse of last session and some other items that he has acquired. Vati has decided to go back to the Salty Dog Inn to regroup with Honed and with Elias, who were back at the inn doing their own things last session. Igvis, however, decided that he was going to continue on while everybody else was doing this to the Basilisk Gate in order to report to Flame Zaj. And that is where we're going to start here with this session. So Igvis, tell me what you do as you approach the Basilisk Gate. You see Captain Zaj outside there.
So I'll simply approach Flame Zaj and say, "Sir, I have a report to make."
Right then, let's go ahead and go inside into my office. And he will lead you into that same office, which you are already familiar with, and he'll beckon you to sit down. And he will say, "All right then, what do you have to report?"
Hello, sir. So, can confirm, while placing the papers that we received from the slaughterhouse onto the desk, the people who were killing and disposing of the bodies behind the Salty Dog Inn were the proprietors of the Hammerdock Slaughterhouse?
The Hamhock Slaughterhouse.
Hamhock Slaughterhouse. That's what I said. And they were essentially capturing people and trying to find out if anybody had ties to the Hell Riders in the city. They probably started doing this once all the refugees started showing up for Elturel.
Well, good work, Flame. Did you happen to also get any proof of anything that you said?
The only real proof, and if you want, you can also check the basement of the slaughterhouse. There's an abomination down there that they seem to have created. They were worshipping the Dead Three. There were altars in the back of the slaughterhouse.
Right. All right. Well, good work. We'll be able to take it from there. I think that's enough for us to call it here. And what about the inner city murders? Were you able to find a connection to those?
Well, still speaking of the ones outside the city, I wanted to warn you that one did get away. We weren't able to capture him. He seemed to have the ability to teleport or go invisible. He just left. Weren't able to track him.
Bound to make trouble at some point.
Just wanted full disclosure, sir. As far as the inner city, the cause of death was relatively similar, but the what happened prior to death was completely different from what we could tell. It would take more investigation of that specifically. We think it might have been some sort of copycat. I don't think they were related.
Right, well, thank you for volunteering to look into the inner city murders for me, as he stares at you.
Of course, sir. I just have two small questions then.
All right, out with it then.
The first would come in the reward you promised for the outer city murders.
Right, of course. All the Fist get paid, and he'll look under the desk and he'll grab out a pouch and three different pouches, and he'll count out some gold pieces, put them into those three different pouches, and then hand them to 200 each for each of your companions, you, Honed, and Vati.
Okay, perfect. And as far as the investigation inside of the city, what can I expect to be compensated for this investigation?
Right, well, I'll give you the same reward. If you can solve the inner city murders, 200 gold pieces.
For myself, Honed, and Vati.
If you are the primary investigators, yes.
We do have a couple of friends with us. Could we compensate them as well, or...
What kind of skills do your other friends bring to the table?
Lots of background knowledge, lots of surveying, and... Sorry, give me a second. One is very good at their knowledge and can help us deduce things quite well. One is able to track quite effectively, and one is bait.
Make me a persuasion check.
A 9.
Says, right, well, I'm not quite familiar with these other people. I think that 600 gold pieces in total for solving this murder should be compensation enough. And if you wish to spend that gold or distribute it in another way, then you are free to do so.
Yes, sir. Well, then, in order to get them in the city, I will need, because they're not members of the Fist, I will need papers to allow them into the city as well.
Right, well, as I promised, I would let your friends in if you solved these murders in the outer city for me. So, of course, we will give them entrance through the Basilisk Gate.
Understood. I'll return with them here shortly. We'll be back soon.
Right then, and also before you go, Igvis, I also wanted to congratulate you on your promotion to Gauntlet.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you are dismissed, Igvis, and before he dismisses you, he will hand you a new badge and ask for your old badge, and this new badge will identify you as a Gauntlet of the Flaming Fist.
I'll hand him my old badge and take the new one.
And he'll also, he will say one more thing. He'll say, now that you are the rank of Gauntlet, I imagined I'll put Honed under your command, and if you do see Craigle, let him know that it's probably best that he not show his face here anytime soon. Our patience has run thin and has now run out.
Understood, sir. I'll make sure to inform him.
Right. Very well. Anything else, Gauntlet?
I believe that is now for all, sir. If I have anything else, I'll let you know when I return with my party.
Right then. You are dismissed.
Sir. And I'll leave.
Okay. Sounds good. So, you leave, and you make your way to the Salty Dog. Let's go ahead and put people on the Salty Dog here. Let's see, I got Marza, I have Elias, so I need Igvis, Vati, Dolakesh. Who am I missing? Honed. Okay. You should all be able to see that map now as you are in the Salty Dog Inn. And before you show up, Igvis, we'll just kind of go through what everybody else here is doing. So, Elias, you're at the inn working with Gentha on some new music and entertainment for the inn. Shortly after, Honed enters and sits down to wait for everybody else. You guys are waiting there for about an hour and a half after Honed arrives. And in strolls Vati first. And what do you do, Vati, when you come in?
I just kind of I look and I flash my hand towards what's her name again?
Gentha.
And I sit in this corner. And I basically did the hand wave I need a drink, but I just don't want to say anything. I look very tired and obviously very different. And then I just kind of sit, and it's not brooding. It's more kind of sulking, just like a sigh of defeat. In some respects, as I just kind of stare down at the table, waiting for my drink to arrive.
She will bring over a drink right away and put it down, and she'll say, Vati, is everything all right? You look... She kind of looks you up and down. Different.
It's been a long day, Gentha. I failed in a lot of ways today.
I see.
But I still appreciate that drink, though.
Absolutely. Here you are, and she'll hand you a pint of ale.
And then as she goes, I'm just gonna grab my bag of gold, which I only have 60. And I'm just going to... Oh, god damn it. I'm going to just hand it to her and just kind of look at her and be like, this is... I heard your business would be struggling. It'd be best to keep this tavern open for the future.
You you hand her 60 gold?
Yeah, all of my gold.
Oh, okay. And she says, I
No words. Just take it.
This is... thank you. Thank you. And you see tears coming down her eyes, and she comes back here and then moves into the back room for a moment to compose herself.
And then I'm just going to take a sip from my drink and keep kind of sulking, staring down at the table.
All right. Perfect. All right. So that is Vati. Hones, Elias, do you say anything to Vati as he comes, sits down, and you see this interaction?
You seem like you've had quite the time, Vati.
Did you speak to me? I'm sorry. My headphones got messed up.
Elias said you seem like you've had quite the time, Vati.
Seems you finally awake. It's been a day, Elias. Really has.
Anything we need to know?
Not yet. No. Just when I get more, I'll share.
Any wounds you have? Might have a couple health potions on hand.
I think a good night's rest after this drink will do me some good.
After a while, Dolakesh and Marza eventually make their way back as well to the Salty Dog. Dolakesh, Marza, what do you do when you enter the Salty Dog here?
Walking in, jovial as ever. hefting a bag of gold in my hand and just laughing. Did you see the look on that one's face? He was pissing himself.
And Marza kind of smiles, but is clearly preoccupied. And just kind of follows a little bit and sits, kind of looking like she wants to say something, but doesn't.
I was gonna say I'll shoulder check her, but she's at my waist, so I'll kind of hit waist check her. Oh, come on, you got out alive. We're all fine. Nothing better than a brush with death, don't you say?
Depends on how close the brush is. And what comes after.
You know, between you and me, it's not death that scares me. It's what waits for you after that.
I'm more worried of what'll pull me away from it.
Do you know what it is? And I'll kind of point at the. You said you had a bracer on your forehead, right? That's growing.
Like a circlet, almost a crown, but not quite.
Yeah, I'll point at that as I'm talking.
This maybe isn't a conversation for many ears.
I'll just
I'll kind
nod.
of gesture to the back if he wants to.
Perhaps over drinks. I'm eager to see how the others have done.
And she'll just kind of sit down.
And as you both sit down, Gentha will come out from behind the bar, and she'll come up to the table, and she will hand you drinks and refuse any sort of payment. And you can see that her eyes are a little swollen. She's clearly been crying, but she seems to have this new life in her, as a new pep in her step. So you don't believe that they are tears of sorrow.
Gentha, did something happen? Is everything okay?
She says, "Yes, my prayers have been answered. You're all just so generous. I can't thank you enough, and Vati for his generosity. This will last me quite a while. I'll be able to keep the tavern."
That's incredible, but she kind of looks a little worried at Vati. 'Cause there's a lot to give away. And she was already kind of concerned that he's not right.
She says, "Please, as long as you visit this tavern, none of you will ever have to pay for anything here again. Please, it's on me."
That's very
It
kind
just
of you.
gets better.
And then she'll walk back behind the counter.
I'll start heartily drinking in a very jovial mood.
Yeah, Marza will have water.
Sounds good. After a little bit longer, Igvis comes strolling through the front door as well. At this point, Igvis, by the time you get back, it's maybe an hour before sundown. So, it's starting. You can see that the sun is starting to set.
Marza is visibly more anxious as time goes on.
As Igvis walks in, I'll raise my glass. Ah, the man of the hour. How do the commanders fare in their awesome city?
Man of the hour, I hate that. Everything about that. So
What news do you bring, Igvis? Vati says he looks kind of up.
For my reference, buddy, are you always wearing that mask now?
What do you mean mask?
Your Hero Forge with the chains had a mask, didn't he?
No, he looks like that now. Like he has horns and he's got his face is more pale
And apparently has no more nose.
Okay, I'll have to look at the Hero Forge again because I thought it was a mask.
The mask that you see is actually mine.
Okay.
Either way, I have some good news, and I have some possibly upsetting news. Which do you all want first?
Let's hear the terrible news.
The terrible news is we might need to go find Alyssa.
Why?
Well, we wanted to get her in the city, right? Because the good news is I can get you all in the city now.
Oh, that was a horrible way to phrase that.
You're welcome, I guess. Also, and I'll take out the bags of gold that we got. Here's for our first investigation. Vati, I'm sorry, but it looks like we have a second one, because now they want us to find out what's happening in the city.
Sounds within line what I thought. Are we splitting what we got from the captain between the rest of us?
I feel it's fair that... I'm sorry, Elias, you haven't been here and didn't help a huge amount, so I'll give you 50, and
No
everybody
need.
can split the rest of it.
Put the rest among yourselves.
Okay, so I'll hand Elias 50 gold, and everybody else will get
Just the
110.
50.
Yo, you'll refuse the 50?
Yeah, Elias refused.
You're sure?
Quite.
If
And
that's-
everyone else gets 100, correct?
everybody will get 120 if Elias refuses.
Well, I think Elias is refusing. I think that's what's going on right now.
I mean, you
Yep.
no longer have living expenses as long as you stay out here.
Yeah, so we have everybody will add 120 gold then.
Marza's gonna make a show in front of Dolakesh of putting it in separate pouches that she's got in different places on her body. Like, this is why we do this. You know, and then we don't end up broke.
Just put my whole bag inside of my sleeve of my cloak. Yeah, you keep doing that.
Marza, do you have any idea where Alyssa is? Because I know you said that she was going to stay with Vati for a while, as were you.
I don't know, do I?
I can go search for her. I have a good idea of where she went, I think.
Oh, and before you leave, I have one other piece of news. I will now produce the gauntlet badge that was given to me.
Congrats!
I am now officially a gauntlet, and
Hey,
honed.
finally.
And honed, I am sorry, but they made me in charge of you. I hate it as much as you do.
Oh boy. That's alright, I like you, so it's okay.
Appreciate it. And
Dolakesh will actually like stand up and give like a kind of like a joking but like still heartfelt flaming fist salute. Congratulations.
appreciate it. They are no longer expecting Craggle to show up. They have basically removed him from the command, so I believe I'm stepping into his position. So, Craggle, we're gonna need a new name for you.
And I'll kind of like scratch my chin for a second. How about Ulkos?
Ulkos. I can get used to that.
You want to spell that in chat for me?
In D&D chat or in
Oh, just kidding.
uh,
Oh, sorry.
Discord chat, yeah.
Yeah, I also
Thanks.
put it in the normal one for you.
Thanks.
ULKOS is how I spell it.
Okay. Then, as long as we can get everybody together, I can bring you all inside at the Basilisk Gate. We'll most an hour after sundown, so we'll try and find her quickly.
Marza's kind of just frozen in the spot. Like, she's not going anywhere. She's not getting up to move.
I'm gonna look at Igvis and I'll be like, I can go out and search a couple places looking for her.
Are you
Right.
well, Marza?
From what
Mars
I know,
is actually gonna just like go upstairs without saying anything.
okay, Vati, you and Honed are able to get in without an escort. Either me or Honed would need to bring in the others.
Fair enough. Like I said, I can go grab Alyssa and go search for her among the camp.
Should we
She'll-
just all meet at the gate in like an hour? Is that
You
enough time for you to find her? Find Alyssa?
It's evening. Perhaps we should rest first. Find her in the morning.
I like many names idea.
I don't know. Well, are you all in rough shape? I could go fetch her. I seem to be in reasonable health.
I am definitely going to bed soon.
I feel like I should go check on Marza. Anybody know why she just left?
Well, ever since the torture chamber, she's been awful quiet, anxious. I don't like to pry into people's secrets too much, but she's clearly worried about something.
Okay, I'll see what I can
At the
find out.
mention of not prying into secrets, he clearly is being very sarcastic.
Yeah, about that. And I'll go follow Marza upstairs now.
Sounds good.
Well, I think I will take after Igvis, but instead I'm going to go to bed. I've seen better days. You all,
Cash will finish his drink and go to bed.
let's all meet in the morning and see what our next plan is.
All right, perfect. Honed and Elias, are you also doing the same thing? Going up and going to bed and taking a rest for the night?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I think this is how the sleeping arrangement was. Just before we all go to bed, though, I'd probably ask Marza, like, is everything okay? Do you need to talk about anything?
And as you walk up into that room, she's sitting on the edge of the bed, holding the covers with white knuckles, just staring at the ground, and doesn't really respond at first.
Marza, do you see me?
I don't know what to do.
Well,
And she'll
anything
just kind of continue to stare down.
anything I can do to help, just let me know. Are you okay staying here, or do you need to get in the city now? I don't know how to help.
I don't know.
Okay, understood. I won't pry any further.
All right. Everybody is in their rooms at the Salty Dog Inn, and you have decided to go to sleep. Everybody goes to sleep for the full 8 hours. Is there anything anybody wanted to do otherwise?
I'm trying to decide.
Okay.
It's a difficult choice, okay? Everybody responds to abuse differently. And I don't know how Marza responds.
All right. This is the moment of truth.
So, Marza's gonna take a short rest
Okay.
and slip out of the inn.
Sounds good. Make me a stealth check. And Igvis and Dolakesh, make me a perception at disadvantage.
Ooh, 21.
Dear Lord.
Now I rolled decently.
I am tipsy sleeping, so I am out.
Right. That's right. I have to look into D&D Beyond for you. Yeah, so 5 from Dolakesh. All right. So, Dolakesh, you definitely don't hear Marza leaving, but Igvis, you actually hear Marza get up and leave through the front door.
Okay. I think I would probably follow her only to, like, outside the front and just try and talk to her real quick.
Okay. So, Marza, go ahead and move your character, and I think when you get down into the tavern is when Igvis would catch up to you, right as you're about to exit the front door.
Marza.
And she's gonna full on jump. She was not expecting anybody to come after.
Sorry, didn't mean to scare you.
And you see she's holding a crumpled paper in her hand. And just kind of stock still. Still hasn't turned to face you.
Is that what has you so concerned?
I don't want anyone to get hurt because of this. I don't even know if I want to risk it. And in those small laughs, you can hear just like a hint, just tiny hint of that madness from the laughing in the torture room.
I have a quick question for you then. Do you think you can handle whatever this is alone?
And she's almost crying. I don't know if I can do any of this.
I can't
And
tell.
she's just gonna slump against the wall.
At this point, I'll begin approaching a little bit.
I've been running for a very long time. And things are catching up to me too quickly.
I know
and I
better.
don't know how to handle it.
I know better than to pry. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to make sure you're okay. If you need the assistance of myself for connections, for support, for whatever, just know you don't have to be alone for whatever you're going through. You've already saved me enough times that I'm willing to put my neck out a little bit for you.
We all almost just died. I can't put you guys in another situation like that.
To be fair, I almost already just did put you in another situation like that. And for that, I am very sorry. We were only there because of this investigation.
Maybe we should just go into the city tonight. Maybe it would be... And she'll just cut off and kind of shake her head, kind of getting rid of that line of thought. And she kind of smooths that paper out on her lap. This is where she sat on the floor and just rereads it again.
If you need to go in the city tonight, I can absolutely make that happen. I've been granted passage to take anybody with me in. If there's something you have to deal with, we can do it now. Just leave him a note. Tell him to meet us inside the city.
No.
All or nothing, then? We can bring
No,
them all.
these aren't people. This isn't a person. I just want her gone. But I know I can't do that right now. So, fine. Let's go into the city tonight. Just all of us. As quickly as possible.
All right, if you're willing, I'll go get them now. Head back upstairs, hoping she's still there by the time I get back down.
And she's gonna kind of try to compose herself, but she is shaking. And she's still kind of got that paper balled up in her fist.
Poke, poke, Delikesh. Get up.
What's going on?
Something's got Marza startled. She needs to get in the city tonight. Get downstairs.
I'll be there, and I'll start rubbing my face. Does this mean we only get a short rest?
Yep, sounds like
Yes.
it.
Alright, I'm gonna spend some hit die.
I'll spend mine here in a second. I'll get everybody else as well. Just be like, hey guys, we're going in the city tonight. Get up, get up, get up.
What's going on here? Like, what's going on? Getting everybody up for?
Marza has something she has to take care of in the city tonight, so we're just all moving out today.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
So Vati and Elias, you would also be woken up as well.
Yeah, I woke up everybody. I just didn't walk to everybody's room and did it.
Okay.
So you guys can move your tokens back out and downstairs if you want.
So, what's going on? You've been acting strange all day.
Maybe it will be safer. Things are catching up to me, and I don't want it to affect all of you. I've been spending time with you, and I don't want that to be a problem.
I'll kind of look her in the eyes. Are you running from someone?
I think that'd be clear by now. And you
Well,
do
you-
notice that slight hint of that madness. That kind
Madness
of
is
somebody who's losing it a little bit.
madness is something I'm familiar with. In fact, I've seen it quite a bit. Are you prepared to face your demons?
That's why we're leaving. And she's just gonna start walking. And if there is anybody on the street, like, she is on high alert. She is looking closely at each person that passes by. Kind of almost like, say, you were inspecting for an illusion, maybe? You know, that kind of thing.
Looking to Igvis, perhaps take the bird's eye view.
Sorry,
Sounds good.
I was still spending my hit dice, don't mind me.
So just to be clear, when you say you're all headed to the city, so Marza, the location that you would be heading to is outside the city, in the outer city. So
Oh yeah,
are
she's
you,
running.
So
Wait,
are you going there or into the city?
no, into the city,
Okay.
away from
Okay.
that.
Okay, gotcha. Sounds good.
Okay, onward to the Basilisk Gate.
So we'll go ahead and...
My suggestion, though, right, Igvis? You don't have to do it if you don't want to. I'm just making sure you understood.
Yeah, I would basically be floating just above everybody a little bit.
And as she walks, she's gonna look to Vati and be like, I know things are different for you, but is your offer still open for staying in the city?
My offer remains the same. Yes.
Good. We can come back for Alyssa in the morning. It'll be fine.
So when you guys get to the Basilisk Gate, you pass the refugee camps, and fires are now lit all within the camp, and you come up on the gate, and all the torches are lit on the gate and along the wall, and Flame Zodge is no longer on post here at the Basilisk Gate at this time of night, but Man Up Salal is there.
Oh, real quick, we actually apparently lost Elias.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that was a message just to me that he sent. He said
Okay.
his Wi-Fi's down.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I thought that was to the full chat.
Gotcha. Good to know. Sounds good. So you guys get to the Basilisk Gate, and Man Up Salal is there. She approach. Welcome, welcome, Gauntlet Igvis. Congratulations.
I'm gonna have to get used to that. I was a fist for so long that being a gauntlet feels surreal, I guess.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah. It took a little while longer to get my party together than I anticipated, but I just need to get passage in for these two. Well, these few people here. Pointing to Delakesh, Marza, and Elias, who is here somewhere, but not at the moment.
Right, of course, and let me make this also easier on you. He hands out to each of you, to Hone, Devati, Dolakesh, Marza, and Elias, who is not there right now, the tokens. And he says, these are tokens for the Basilisk Gate. We change them out every couple days or so. These should be good for a couple days for your friends to get in and out of the Basilisk Gate.
Thank you, Salal. I have one other small question. Could I get one additional token? We have somebody we couldn't find tonight that we need to bring in the morning.
Right, I suppose I can do that. And he'll hand you an additional token.
Appreciate it, sir. So if you don't mind, I think we'll be making our way inside.
Of course, Gauntlet. And before you go, Flame Zodge did want me to let you know, if I were to come across you, that he recommends in your investigation that you start at the Elfsong Tavern. He has an informant there that goes by the name of Tarina, and it might be worth speaking to her. She might know something.
Understood. We'll make sure to get to that either tonight or tomorrow.
Right then. Well, as you are on your way, and he will beckon to a couple guards who will open the gate for you so that you can go ahead and pass through.
Cash will take a moment to give a head nod and a slight smile to Manip as he walks by.
And he'll just nod back, completely oblivious to who you are.
The man you've been avoiding all this time.
All right. And you head off into the city. I'm going to switch maps here. So we're just going to show you the overarching map here of Baldur's Gate. And you know what? Let me actually update this too for the stream to make sure the stream can see it.
Wow, Hamhock's slaughterhouse is so far away from the Basilisk Gate. I was really like bolting to get back to the Salty Dog Inn too.
Okay. There we go. So yeah, as you pass through the Basilisk Gate, which is here on the map where I am pinging, you come into the Eastway district, which is the first district here of Baldur's Gate. Where are you planning on going, Igvis? You would know the city well, being here. What exactly are you looking for, or where are you trying to head to?
For now, I would actually probably want to go with Vati, if you would allow me to, so that we're all together at the very least, so we can start our investigation in the morning.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I would probably go with you, if possible, so that we can all start investigation in the morning, so we're all together, just in case this thing that's coming after Marza finds us in the night.
I mean, yeah, we can head towards Vati's house, or his investigation agency that has 2 bedrooms, but we'll work on it.
The only reason is because I could go to my home, but the only one who can come there is Honed, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, my house is fine as a base of operation anyway.
I don't think we want everybody in the Flaming Fist's barracks.
So I'm just going to create a little map note here where Avati's home would be on the map.
I actually just realized I'm a gauntlet now. Do I have a slightly bigger room?
A slightly bigger room where?
Well, because I was living in the barracks. So instead of just being in a cot with a bunch of other people.
Right, you would probably have the rights to upgrade your accommodation slightly.
Hey, I'll do that later.
You get
We separate.
a room with cots.
Igvis, before I forget, after I returned to Baldur's Gate for the first time, Craggle's barracks were in complete disarray. I can send you the DM on it if you want, but essentially it was completely ransacked. There was a symbol written in blood upon the wall. It didn't match the one of the Cult of the Dead 3. Instead, I believe it was from the Cult of the Dragon. Seems they targeted him. Might be worth your investigation.
Understood. That's gonna be... I want to say fun, but it really won't be.
So you go ahead and you move throughout the inner city. It takes you past the Eastway district and into Heapside. And as you continue through Heapside, you come to the Steeps, which are over here in the central city and near the docks, the main docks. And Vati's house is over here on this star that I've put on the map for you, which hopefully you can all see.
Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect. So yeah, you get to Vati's place, and it's a small apartment. Vati, do you want to describe your office, what it looks like?
Yeah, so when you go when you get to the building, it's kind of smushed against 2 other buildings, like it's like smushed in between 2, like sandwiched. It's relatively unassuming. There's a wooden sign above the door that just says Lyrander Investigation Services. When you open the door, first thing you'll see is just like kind of a desk. It's got some dust on it now from not being used in some time, and then on the left side coming in is just a wall of books. Like not quite library, but pretty much like they're books of different origins, different things that he's bought and read. Some of them are journals from different investigations, collections of magical information just on the side wall. Then behind the desk, you'll see like a smaller, more looks like a private like glass office, where there's another desk inside, and then there's just stairs that lead up to the two bedrooms that are unassuming. One's got one bed in it, the other one's got an additional bed for people that he's had stay there on occasion.
Perfect. So you're all able to make it back to Vati's office. Those of you going back to Vati's office. Is that everybody? If I heard that correctly? At the moment, I know Igvish, you're going back at least. Marza, I think you were going as well. Hone, Dolakesh, Elias. Well, Elias, are you back now?
Yeah, I'm back in.
Okay, perfect.
Elias would come along.
Okay. So Elias would go along. Honed and Dolakesh, you as well?
Yeah, might as well just stay together.
Okay. So you all make it to Vati's office. What's the plan once you get there?
I'm sorry for waking all of you up and for
Alright.
all the worry, but there's still some light or some dark left. We should all get some more sleep if we can.
Beds are upstairs. Any of you can take them. I'll take my private office in the back. There should be some extra cushions or things upstairs for people to lay on the ground. And if we want, we can set up a watch order just to make sure we cover whatever might come our way.
I'll take first watch.
Into your second.
Is your like house 2 stories or is it just one?
It's 2 stories, so there's stairs that goes up to the bedrooms.
Then I'll volunteer with first watch with Elias, just so we have 2.
I can take third watch then.
I can take the last one.
Perfect. So Igvis and Elias on first watch, Dolakesh on second watch, Vati on third watch, and Honed on the last watch.
That should give time for you to sleep, Marza. You probably, if you can.
I'll take the floor so that the rest of you that I woke up can have beds. If anybody needs help on a watch, just wake me.
Okay. You are able to sleep with no interruptions, provided none of you choose to get up in the middle of the night.
Wake Marza on my watch.
Elias is actually going to ask Igvis what he knows of what we're watching for.
Marza didn't really explain, just that we might all be in danger. I think she was planning on running herself. It's kind of hard to tell. If I hadn't woken up, I don't know if we'd even be here at the moment.
Just look out for something that would come knocking at the door, Elias. Look out for magical things, anything. You weren't there, but things got really rough on our last little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if a stray cultist happened to show up at my door. Just do your best.
I'll do what I can, Vati. It seems you've all had a rough of it.
I also feel like it's not my place to speak on what we may be running from. It's entirely Marza's situation, not my own.
Is this a situation like before everybody goes off to bed? Or like a conversation? Like, are we all still there?
Elias would have waited for, the watch, but given Vati's there,
Yeah, Vati apparently came down.
I mean, if it's first watch, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's pretty immediate. So Marza will pipe up and just say, don't let anyone in. Anyone.
Very well, Marza.
You hear the knocking at the door. Got it.
If anyone needs me, I'll be in the private office. I'll have it locked, so you'll probably have to knock if you want to wake me.
I'll break it down. It's fine.
Thank you, Igvis.
No problem.
So you are able to rest for the night. You all will benefit from a long rest. So you can go ahead and apply that to your character sheets, which many of you need desperately. Morning comes, and you wake up at Vati's
Can I go
apartment.
talk to Marza on my watch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So on my watch, since I'm solo, I'll take a moment to like gently wake up Marza and hold up a finger to like shush her.
And she's very easy to wake. She was barely asleep in the first place.
Once I have her attention, I'll kind of back away and take a seat across the room. You seem awful afraid of this, and I want to help you. I've also been on the run, as you know, pretty much my entire life. And I think I owe a bit to this. And he'll reach inside of his like cloak around his neck and pull an amulet out that he was hiding underneath his shirt. This is a item that will keep you hidden from magical means or being tracked and seen from far away. I think you need it more than me at this point. And he'll take it off and hold it out for her.
She looks kind of stunned for a moment. Are you sure you don't need it? And she kind of looks like she's holding herself back from just grabbing it.
No, but I'm sure you need it more at this point. And he'll kind of press his hand out towards hers a little more.
And she'll take it and put it on.
You now have the amulet against proof of detection and location.
All right, sweet. Thank you. What would you do if they caught up? The people you're running from?
Probably run.
Yeah. And she's just gonna look down.
But one day, I've sworn to myself, I will destroy them. Perhaps we can do the same for you.
Maybe we can all get stronger together. Help each other out a little.
I'll nod and continue my watch until next and go to the morning.
Perfect. And as mentioned, the morning does come, and the rest of you do wake up in Vakti's office, feeling a little bit more refreshed than you did going to sleep, obviously. All right, what's next? What do you do from here?
As we wake, I'd probably just gather everyone and be like, so, thing we just did, they did ask us to do another one inside the city, and I kind of couldn't say no.
Well, we already did kind of some steps for that, so we'll just pick up where we left off.
On the bright side, there's going to be another payday for this one as well, for solving the inside murders just like we did the outside ones.
So you're the only one, or you and Hone are the only ones with access to the barracks to check out Kraggle's house. The rest of us, minus one, could check out the location of the bodies, and then one can get Alyssa, perhaps.
Well, Kraggle's office will have to wait. It's not a part of this at the very least, as far as I can tell.
Sure.
Do I remember the symbol that was carved into the bodies of the moratorium for the people inside the city?
That one was the
It's like a horn.
no, because that Was that what that was? Did we have?
Because they had two different symbols on them. The cult of the Dead Three had the horn for all the ones outside. What was the one inside the city?
Correct.
Wasn't it the same as what we found out on like Alyssa's husband?
The one inside the city was different, but they were the symbols of the Dead Three, essentially. Were carved into like the back of the neck and branded on all of the victims, as well as some. I don't know if I sent you text of this as well, but there were ritual carvings that Vati had been able to deduce in various different languages, and they seemed a little bit nonsensical. But they had praises basically to the dark gods and saying things like all cities shall fall to darkness and the spawn shall rise from mortal flesh and these other types of sayings that were kind of carved into the victim via these runes. But they did separately have the brands of the Dead Three on there, Bane, Ball, and Merkel.
Okay, and I did just send you an image that you had sent me on session 0. Just want to confirm this wasn't the thing that was carved on them at all.
No.
Okay, just wanted to confirm. Then I will say with confidence, pretty sure this isn't related to Craghole. This is another cult situation, just different members.
Well, did you? I know that last time we had talked, Igvis, that you had gone to talk to one of your fellow Flame members about setting up extra patrols there. Should we check in with them, see if there's been any dead bodies showing up since?
She's been lazy, is the nicest way I could describe it. Zaj gave me a lead to go to an inn in the city. I suggest we start at Elfsong Tavern and go see if we can find Tarina. That's where Zaj pointed me to. We can check with the flame afterward.
Sounds
And
good. Do you
Hold
guys?
up.
Do,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you guys want to head out and do that real quick? And
Yes.
I have a couple of things to take care of in the city. I just want to make sure that that gets taken care of as well.
Igvis, go into handouts. I'm pretty sure Tarina was named in one of them as an informant for the Fist from the Letter of Rezimir, I think.
Yeah, it's right here.
So she was posing as a cult of the Dead Three. Is that the implication?
I think based on what I can tell here, the cult of the dragon know that Tarina is an informant for the Fist. Is what I understand from it.
Well, okay. So, out of character, I'm assuming that the symbol in Craggle's desiccated home was Cult of the Dragon. Would Dolakesh know that, DM?
The one that I sent you.
Yes, you would know that. And
So there's
you
the
would
connection
also know that, Igvis, based on your backstory and interactions with them.
Yeah, I just confirmed that the symbol that was left inside of Craggle's home is not the symbol that was carved in the bodies inside the city, which is why I'm pretty sure they're not related, at least in this situation.
We now know that the Cult of the Dragon and the Cult of the Dead Three are directly targeting each other. They targeted Craggle, and now they're targeting Rezimir. That seems like a connection to me, but I guess we'll see. I think you're right that it's low priority. I don't think we should go there first, but I think there's a connection there.
There very well could be, yeah. Thank you for reminding me that Tarina was in this, because I spelled her name wrong.
Yeah, no worries. That name was like, oh god, I've heard that name.
So
But
for
yeah, I
Vati,
think Tarina's the first step.
if you want to start with the sighting of the bodies, it was at that park. I forget exactly which park, but there's a park in Baldur's Gate that the bodies are being dropped at there.
Insight Park.
Insight
which
Park.
is in Lower Brampton.
You can start in Brampton at Insight Park, and we'll go to the tavern to go talk to Tarina.
If we're investigating, I don't think anyone should travel alone. That's gone pretty crazy so far.
I suggest we keep as much of us together as possible.
I agree. So I think we all go to Tarina. That's my final vote.
If we must.
All right. I'm going to put a couple notes on the map for you guys here.
Quick, DM, what is the town over there that I just pinged?
Tumbletown. Tumbledown. You can also read more about it specifically in the Baldur's Gate section.
I didn't think that that's what that was. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's where Cliffside Cemetery is over there. And there's also like a big statue of Baldurin that looks out over the sea. But it's in the outer city, but you get there by going through the southern gate there, the cliff gate. Okay, so I put the Elfsong Tavern and Insight Park on the map, since those are two places that you had mentioned. But it sounds like you guys have decided on all going to the Elfsong Tavern. Is that correct? Or did I misinterpret that?
I think begrudgingly that is correct.
All right. Cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We will switch maps here. And I've got to drag you onto the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who am I missing? Elias.
Curious, does Marza look any more relaxed?
She's not shaking and super tense anymore, but she's not doing great. But seems more comfortable that everybody's together and that they're inside, and is a little more comfortable having the amulet.
As we walk, I guess I'll just like pat you on the back once, being like, "It's okay, I got you."
All right. As you travel through Baldur's Gate and back into the Eastway district, closer to the Basilisk Gate, you come upon the Elfsong Tavern. It's a 2-floor establishment, and as you come up, the doors are closed in front of you, and you are on the map where you are. You can hear voices coming from inside. It sounds like there are quite a few people inside. And Vati opens the door.
And I walk in.
As you walk in, Vati, here on your left, so you find that right away you're enveloped by the heat and the noise of a busy tap room. On one side here stands a hulk of a woman who has ogre in her bloodline. And on the other side here is an empty suit of armor, but it's not just any ordinary armor. You realize as it's empty helmet moves and glances at you for a moment before returning its eyeless gaze to the tap room. The room itself is filled with a wide variety of patrons, all who carry at least one weapon, and in some cases several. And they're either discussing and laughing loudly or engaging in hushed conversations in the private booths. None seem to take particular interest in you as you enter. There are two young men who come out of the door to the north and then serve the tables. And there's a middle-aged man standing behind the bar up here who just gives a slight nod as you enter. Also, as if on cue, as you come through the door, and you might want to turn your playlist volume up for this, the room quiets, and this weird voice calls out and begins to sing a tune. And it sounds like this.
I gauging the room. Do I see anyone like even remotely recognize this or like turn to listen to it?
Yes, and as you look about the room as it plays out, everybody drops silent, and they all just kind of stare about and look like they're just staring into space, just lost in its call. And as soon as the voice stops, everyone begins their conversation in laughter again.
Was that something that I just experienced, or was that like everyone else experienced? Just
All
for
of you
clarification.
experienced it.
Insight or Arcana to glean any influence, or they're like, were they entranced? Were they just listening?
Yeah, and what I'll say is Vati, Igvis, and Dolakesh. Vati, Igvis, and Honed, I'll say, because you have been long-term residents of Baldur's Gate. You've heard rumors of the Elfsong Tavern before, and that there is a mysterious voice, though the reason it's called the Elfsong Tavern is because there is this mysterious voice that often will call out and sing a lamenting song, and people are drawn to the tavern because of that, and they come from all over just to hear this song, which plays usually once during the day and once at night. So for you, it's not a surprise that you experienced this, but you've never experienced it before.
So this is what I've been hearing about. I assure you, Marza and Dolakesh, it's part of the general aesthetic of this tavern. It's talked about among the town as something that just happens here.
A little haunting yet beautiful, so.
Barely look around. I accept his answer, but it still creeps me out.
All right.
I'll go ahead and approach.
Stop moving so fast. Follow you.
I'm going to approach the barkeep.
Okay. You approach the bar, and there's a half-elven man there, and as I will show you a little picture of him, he looks like this. And he looks up at you and says, "Hello, how can I help you?"
Hello, sir. My name is Igvis. This is my buddy. I'm trying to remember what we were calling you.
Ulcos.
And
And
he raises an eyebrow.
I'm here just searching for somebody. Can you tell me if Tarina's been in today or if she's here?
Tarina. Yes, upstairs, playing Baldur's Bones.
Upstairs. Any particular room, sir?
The gaming tables are right in the open floor as soon as you walk upstairs.
Understood. That's all I needed for now. Thank you. I'll order around when I get back down.
Okay.
I'll just mention to everybody, hey, headed upstairs. You can follow if you want.
I'll follow Igvis.
I'm gonna keep watch.
I'm gonna join Ignis.
Okay. So you can go ahead and walk upstairs if you want to go upstairs. And I'm going to go ahead and activate this scene. And you know what? Let me do this real quick. Okay. So for those of you... So this is two different scenes, the first floor and the second floor. For those of you who are on the first floor, you should be able to click up top there on floor 1 so that you can actually see something, whatever you see.
Sweet.
And those of you on floor 2 can click floor 2. I may have to switch between them and activate different ones for the stream purposes, for what they see. So if for some reason you get catapulted off your screen, just go back and click whatever floor you're on. So as you walk upstairs, Igvis, Dolakesh, Honed, and Elias, you see quite a few people huddled around a table. There are lit lanterns that hang from the rafters. No windows in this room, but several doors. Several rugs cover the floor. And you can see people playing some sort of game with dice. There is an older halfling woman right here. A younger woman with red hair over here. And then two younger gentlemen opposite each other.
I'll approach and ask to join their game.
Elias is also going to approach the table.
Okay. So you approach the table, and the older halfling woman right here says, we have some newcomers, don't we? What are your names?
I'm Igvis. Nice to meet you.
I am but a humble bard, the Elias.
Well, it is great to meet you, Igvis and Elias. You care to join us for some Baldur's Bones? This is the High Rollers table.
Is it now?
I'm hardly a high roller myself. I heard there was a skilled pugilist named Tarina around here.
And the woman up here in red will look and say, "Right, well, my name's Tarina. What? Am I famous or something?"
I hear your hand-to-hand combat is amazing. I hear you practically whisper the language of the fists.
Oh, I hate the fist.
Ah, don't we all?
We're not here to talk about the fist, though, are we? We're here to play some Baldur's Bones.
Indeed. What is the entry for this table, though? I must make sure it's not too rich for my blood.
1 gold piece ante.
Indeed, I believe I can swing that.
Yeah, I'll put up a gold as well.
Perfect, and you're familiar with how to play Baldur's Bones, correct?
I would in my backstory, but not right now.
Yes, Igvis, you would be familiar with it. Elias, you would not be familiar
I
with
know.
Baldur's Bones.
He's going to be very honest about that. It's my first time, but never hurts to learn a new skill.
Right, well, let me explain it for you, Elias. So, I am the dealer. We start with the person to the left of me, and everybody rolls 3 dice. After you roll these 3 6-sided die, we add them up, and the goal of the game is to get to 21, but not to go over. So starting to the left of me, everybody will get a chance to continue rolling 1 die until they wish to stop and stay. But if you should go over 21, you bust out and you're out of the game. After everybody has decided to either stay or they bust out, we look at who has the highest total, and whoever has the highest total closest to 21 wins the game. Simple enough, eh?
Indeed, quite fascinating.
Yeah, ready to play.
Perfect. And if she will go ahead and everybody will roll 3d6, and you guys can go ahead for me and roll 3d6.
I get my private. I'm good with that. Yeah. I can
no,
reveal
so,
it. Okay.
yeah, they're out in the open. Yeah, actually, I can't even see what you rolled.
Yeah, I made it a self roll. I can just reveal it.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So it starts with the person to the left. Jasper rolls 11. And says, I will hit. I will hit. And we'll roll a 6. So they're at 17. Says, I am going to hit. And we'll get a 4 to be at 21. Say, obviously I stay. Good luck, boys, with that. Elias, you are up. You have 14 out of your die.
Right, I too shall hit.
So go ahead and roll me a 1d6. So that is 20, Elias.
How it works is, quick question out of the game on the rules. So, if I break 21, I lose. Closest to 21 wins. So he's basically already won this game.
Right, unless you roll again and get a 1. If you stay put, you lose, for sure.
Oh, 100%. And so I'm going to roll again.
Right.
I was hoping it was more like blackjack that we were all compared against the dealer.
Always hit on anything lower than 16. Well, I'll be damned.
And there it is, worshiping the goddess of
Joking me?
luck.
What the?
Let's go.
21 for
The great
Wow.
Elias. The great
The
Elias.
greatest one that has ever existed.
And
I believe I too shall stay.
this man kind of grunts. Lucky roll. Beginner's luck.
Indeed, I quite worship luck.
Igvis, you are up. You rolled a 16, and you got to keep going. That is 17.
Do it.
That's 20.
Come on, Igvis.
And a bust. And the old woman over here laughs and says, "Better luck next time, dearie."
Yeah, I'll push my dice forward and just throw my gold forward. Oh well.
The woman over here rolls, and she gets 14 total. She rolls again. She has 15. She rolls again, and she has 20. And then she rolls again, and she gets 23 and busts out. Just And then the gentleman over here, Frederick, will go ahead and roll, and he immediately busts out, starting with a 17 and then rolling a 5. Tarina then goes, and what'd she start with? She starts with 9 on her dice, and then she rolls a 6, and then she rolls again, and she gets another 6, and she also hits 21.
Note Elias was watching her hands very closely as she was doing this.
Yeah, give me an insight.
$23.
23. Yeah, so you tell Elias that she is able to slip out a different dice from under her sleeve as she rolls that last die.
Minor illusion. Can I try to cast it stealthily here?
Yeah, what are you trying to do?
I just want to change the last die to a 4.
To a 4. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. That's so minor illusion. That is, what spell is that? Is that a 0 level spell, or what is that?
It's a 0 level spell. I just want to give her a bit of an alarm.
Give me a stealth.
All right.
Oh wow!
30
Yeah,
Or
One,
sleight of
not
hand. That's
verbal.
good.
30-20.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're able to just kind of Jedi mind trick, wave of the hand. And the die rolls and comes up, and it comes up as a 4. And you notice immediately her face is very confused and perplexed, and she kind of pauses for a moment. And the old woman down here says, "Well, Tarina, are you going to roll again? You have to." She says, "Yeah, right. I will do that." And she rolls again, and she gets a 5 on the die and ends up busting out. And you can tell that she's pretty confused. And the gentleman here cheers and says, "Ha ha ha! We finally won a game. See, you don't win them all, Tarina." And he gathers the gold and he splits the pile between him and Elias, each of you getting 3 gold pieces. So your gold piece back plus an additional 2 more. She says, that's strange. And you see her kind of like gather up the dice, and she says, "Why don't..."
Truly, hands are as nimble as everyone says. You must be a master of boxing.
Well, beginner's luck. Beginner's luck. What do you say? Double or nothing? Double or nothing on the table?
The speed of your hands is far too much for me. I must opt out.
All right, perfect.
Note that he is trying to very subtly convey with his word choice that he knows that the fists are looking for her, and he knows she was cheating.
All right, so what part of your what you said would kind of convey that the fist is looking for her?
Earlier, when I said she practically whispers the language of the fists.
Okay. All right, and what do you do when you get up from the table, Elias, and walk away?
I'm actually going to offer to buy her a drink.
Oh, okay. She'll say, yes, I think, I'll take a drink, maybe a quick break, won't hurt. Jasper, Frederick, and, Rahima, I'll ante back in a little bit. Go ahead and play without me. Elias, feel free to bring that drink over here to the private dining room down south, and maybe we can have a drink in there.
Indeed, that sounds lovely.
And she'll...
I have some friends who I believe you would love to meet their acquaintance.
Yes, well,
Such a charming woman as yourself, of course.
I do always enjoy meeting new people. And she will go into that room down south here.
I'm going to gesture to Pregel and Vati to come to me.
Approach.
Do you get up from the table, or?
I was wondering if you were going downstairs so they could just follow you.
I believe that's the plan. Is it not?
Yeah. I was just watching your token on the map.
Oh, yeah, I get up from the table. It's just I have push to talk, so I can't see the token and talk simultaneously.
I gotcha. Okay.
I'll stay at the top of the stairs while they all go down. I'll play another game with them.
Okay. And we can do some rolling in chat while they RP a little bit.
Yep.
So are we in a more private place now?
Well, you can make your way downstairs if you want and to talk down there. And you could find a private booth if that is what you wish to do.
Yeah, I'm going to the place she directed us to go, but I'm trying to get Pregel and Vati there.
Oh, okay. Well, that is actually upstairs. So you don't even have to go downstairs, except to get a drink.
Vati and Marza are both downstairs.
Yes.
They didn't go up with you.
Come, let me go fetch us a round. So I go, and I'm gonna fetch. How much is their kind of higher quality ale?
Yeah. So you go up to Alan as you go downstairs, and I'm just gonna move you over downstairs. And Alan says, yes, well, we have quite a few different types of ales. So we have the Baldur's Port, which is our cheapest ale. It's a dark brown porter. We have the Bitterroot beer. It's a smoky beer imported from Candlekeep.
I'm trying to impress a lady. How much? What can I get for 3 gold to buy a round for a table?
Well, if you really want to impress a lady, you could go with the Dragon's Breath. It's a strong and harsh brew all the way from Sembia, but that's a gold piece per person. If you're looking for a middle of the road beer, the Bitterroot beer is 2 silver pieces a person.
He's gonna hand him her He's going to hand him 2 gold pieces. Come now. I surely must impress the lady.
Very well. And he will pour you an ale, and it has this reddish tint to it, and it kind of like smokes off the top. And he'll pour 2 of them and pass them to you.
I'm going to stop quickly by Vati and Marza's table. Come, my friends, I've met a charming woman who you simply must meet. And with that, he's going to go back to Tarina's table, kind of gesturing that they should follow.
Okay, and so he goes back upstairs, Marza and Vati, after saying that to you.
I'm gonna put down my drink and put out my cigar, and then I'm gonna walk upstairs.
Okay.
And with that, we should have, at minimum, he's hoping to get Pregel, Vati, and himself at the table with Tarina.
Sounds good.
And I'm going to hand her the dragon's breath. Surely a charming lady like yourself deserves nothing but the finest.
Oh, why, thank you, Elias. You're a big spender, aren't you?
Come now. Nothing but the finest for you. I believe we've heard you have a bit of a predicament, and I believe my good friends here can help you out.
Right, well, why don't we close the door before we speak, and somebody closes the door behind everybody as Igvis walks in a little late.
I thought the round was going to be short, so I just wanted to do it real quick and then be like, all right, I'm out.
And Rahima does win that round with 21.
Okay, I'll subtract another gold.
And she says, so what,
For 1 gold piece.
you're going to give Tarina 1 gold piece?
Yes.
Okay.
Apologies for my handiwork earlier.
Ah, I see. I see. You are quite clever. So tell me, what is it that the Fist wants this time?
I believe my friend Pregel here is best suited to explain this.
Igvis.
Yeah, I'll take it from here, Elias. So, Tarina, your name's come up a couple of times, and it has me slightly concerned for a few reasons.
All right.
Are you aware of the murders that have been happening within the city walls as of the last week or so?
I am.
Flamesodge informed me to come and see what you may know about these particular murders happening inside the walls.
I see, and has Flamesodge also sent to you with payment?
He sent me with the usual fee, and I'll slide 5 gold across the table.
She'll take that and put it into her pocket and says, "Of course, so what exactly do you want to know? What are you looking for?"
Any information you have as to who could be behind the murders happening within the city that have been being dropped, the bodies being dropped at Insight Park.
Right. Well, I do know that it seems cultists of the Dead Three are responsible for these murders. I have it on good authority that a man named Theophila, he's a middle-aged man with a bunch of different facial piercings. I have it on good authority that he worships Bane, so I've followed him and tracked him, and I have found that he makes frequent runs between a bathhouse in Heapside and a tannery in Brampton. one of those two locations might be a good place to follow up on. I've also seen an older elf, goes by the name of Botros, I believe. Has short blonde hair, blue eyes, missing one ear. Frequent the bathhouse often. He always seems to visit the bathhouse and then leave through the basilisk gate to the outer city, at which point I have no idea where he goes, but if there's any involvement with these murders, I would assume that these two locations would be keen places to check out.
Really quickly, where was the bathhouse located? It was the tannery in Brampton and the bathhouse in where?
A bathhouse in Heapside. It's called the Frolicking Nymph.
Can I do an insight check on this person?
Yeah, go ahead.
Elias and Marza are also watching close.
Sure, anybody who wants to insight can insight for me.
Wow. Man, Avanti's out of it today.
Well, it's the day after our nonsense. That makes sense.
8 on my insight.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, I gotta remember to look over here for you, Dolakesh. 8. Yeah, I mean, you guys don't hint at any deception in her words.
Okay, appreciate it. So we should start with this Theophila and Boltros. I do have one other situation I think deserves your attention a little bit.
All right.
We found a note while we were outside of Baldur's Gate. We were actually some of the people in Elturel when it fell. And and your name came up while we were dealing with some cultists out in the forest.
Okay, quite interesting.
So I would honestly just keep yourself safe. I don't know what knows about you, but at this point, somebody does.
I
Well,
believe we may not be the only ones who know of your skill at boxing.
well, that is your job as the Fist, as part of our agreement, yes, to keep me safe.
It is, but a little vigilance on your part would go a long way.
Noted.
Any other questions that you guys have for Tarina?
As you say that, the sound in the inn, you can hear less talking outside where people are playing games, and another voice, ghostly voice, comes out and begins to sing. And this time, though, this elven woman who is singing this ghostly song, it's a different song. And it sounds like this.
This land is long abiding joy, home of the strong and brave.
Real quick, would I happen? Could I use any of my backstory, like elven knowledge, at all to try to like get a better feel for how that's produced here?
Um, I would say that your elven knowledge would inform you that it doesn't have anything to do with elves specifically.
Okay.
And as that song finishes, again, things seem to liven up again outside the door and down stairs. And Tarina says, "Huh, curious. That's a different song than she normally sings. She normally sings the same song every night."
How often does she sing? With that more frequent than usual?
Maybe we have someone else to talk to.
Yes, it's also more frequent than usual. It's normally once in the early day and once late at night. This is twice in just an hour or so.
Her melodies are truly beautiful.
Did
But
you hear what she had to say? Did she mention Elturel?
indeed, it sounded as though she mentioned things of dark days in El Corral.
I'd like to go ahead and walk out of the room and just see what's going on out there.
All right. So you walk out of the room, and Dolakesh, you see these three seem to be conversing, and they are also confused, and they are also talking about this song that just happened. And as you kind of get to where you are right now, you all of a sudden hear a loud crash downstairs as the door bursts open downstairs, it sounds like. And you hear an older man's voice and a gruff sound as he says, "Hey, Rhonda, where are you?" Or wait, should I say Tarina?
Tell me,
And
Tarina.
immediately turn around and yell, "Hi, Tarina!" And then I'm gonna take like a position away from the stairs.
Tell me, Tarina. How big is Tarina?
Tarina is like 5'5".
Comrades, can you destroy the bench? Because I'm assuming that there's a bench here.
First, what's the situation out the window? Like, are there others outside?
Well, there are people on the street that you can see out the window, but nobody,
Tarina, can you stay
of
crouched under
note
this
on the
table?
street.
Can you hide under this table? I promise this will all be
So-
over soon.
I'm gonna. So there's 3 people out here, right?
There
He-
are 3 people out there, yes. And Elias, just to answer your question real quick, before we go to you, Vati, Tarina will pipe up and say, yes, I'll get under the table. Please go take care of them. They want my head. Listen,
So,
a dead
I'm gonna
informant
use,
is no informant.
I'm going to use minor illusion to hide her under the table, and I'm going to do something that you guys are probably not going to like.
So real quick, as I walk out here, I'm gonna cast illusory script to the 3 NPCs out here at the table. And all it's going to say is, if you mention where she's at, I will find you, and you won't see the next day. But it's something that they can only see and read.
Wait, I thought the door was closed.
All right.
We're outside the door.
The door is closed.
Yeah, because I tried to hide her as under an object within that room,
Yeah, we're all just out.
and now I look like her. By the way,
Oh, okay. So you are. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. So you're disguising self to look like Tarina. Everybody else, though, Elias, did leave the room, except Marza, I guess, who's still in the room with you. But everybody else left the room beforehand, and then, the door would have been closed behind them. And she does get under the table as you wish, and you are also her in the same room.
Marza, can you tell me?
Can I what?
Can you tell me? This might go quite badly.
Should we leave her alone?
Indeed. They're about to chase her out of the tavern. So, question about Elias's duplicate self. Does it copy what he currently looks like, or his usual appearance?
You're talking the invoke duplicity?
DM question.
No, say again, Elias.
Will it copy his current appearance, or will it copy his normal appearance? Like, if I used it right now, would it look like another Tarina?
Yeah, with disguise self, you can absolutely make yourself look like another Tarina.
Well, but my invoke duplicity, could I do that?
Oh, so you disguise self as Tarina and then invoke duplicity to try to have two Tarinas.
Tarinas.
You know what? Yeah, we'll say yes, and I'll look it up later if that's how it actually works. But sure, you have two Tarinas right now because of your invoke duplicity. Now, your invoke duplicity, though, only lasts so long, right? How long does your invoke duplicity last?
1 minute.
A minute. Okay. So are you going to do that right now, or?
So first off, is there a window?
There is.
So I'm going to look on the street and invoke a duplicity of Tarina on the ground.
Okay, outside.
Yes, and then I'm going to use a minor illusion of her voice. I'm over here, you numbnuts.
Okay. Sounds good. Give me, Okay, what is the DC on Invoke Duplicity? I'm going to have to remember what,
I would say we should use the Invoke Duplicity on Disguise Self here, because Invoke Duplicity is very vague.
Can you link it in chat to Invoke Duplicity for me?
Yes.
I like his plan, but I'll just say rules are as written, or you would create a perfect illusion of yourself, specifically.
Yes, and that's why I'm so unclear, because the spell I cast before was Alter Self, which changed my own appearance.
That's an illusion, though. It's not changing who you are, it's just changing what you look like. I don't know. I'm going to, of course, leave it up to the DM. I like your idea, but I think as written,
No,
it would
valid.
be no.
As written is valid.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just looking for a save.
It would probably be his spell save DC for wisdom, unless they interact with the illusion, in which case they'll know it's an illusion. But it's like an action to try and like not be confused by it.
Took me a couple tries, but I linked it to the chat.
Okay, now I'm just with Invoke Duplicity though. Your illusion can't talk, right? It's not like a thing that talks or
That's
anything.
why I used a minor illusion to project the voice.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that, and you do that outside on the street.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll say that Tarina, this illusion of Tarina, appears on the street. And then this sound. And what do you say again, just as a reminder?
I was gonna say, like, I better escape those, like, cultists. Good thing I got out through the window.
And you'll hear from downstairs. Right, you three, go out and check. Go look for her. And then as you're kind of looking out that window, Elias, you'll see three men come around the corner outside by the window, and
I'm
they
gonna duck now, actually, because if they see me, I'm toast.
okay, and they will come out beside the window, and you don't see what happens next, but you do hear right, Tarina, come on with us. It's time to wait. What? She's gone. She disappeared.
Okay, I'm gonna do something else now because we have to fight these people, right?
Okay, well, I will say for right now, you took a lot of actions. So let's go look at what other people are doing during all of this. So, Honed, Vati, Igvis, Dolakesh, you kind of hear all of this going on. You hear like them fumbling around inside that room where Marza, Elias, and Tarina are. You hear Tarina's voice kind of coming from outside, maybe it seems, and then you hear everything that just happened.
Going to take up like a trying to be casual kind of against this wall, like almost like I'm just watching the game, leaning against the wall, crossing my arms. But I'm intently watching the stairs and whoever comes up it.
I'm just like unfurling the chain that's on my arm, or unrolling it, I guess, and laying it on the ground next to me, in preparation for whoever might come up the stairs.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to that in play by post, but I was going to offer you the key as well to take off the chains. I figured you'd turn it down.
I just still have the chain, so it's no big deal.
If anything, I think Delica should be the only other one to unshackle himself.
Which I definitely did.
And because I'm a monk, I'm just gonna sit here and pretend like I'm playing because I don't need no tools.
I lost audio there for a second, so I missed Dola. No, I missed. I got Vati. You're sitting there with the chains. Dolakesh, you're hanging up against the wall. Igvis, you're just hanging out there by the table. So Honed, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna sit here on this bench, couch, whatever it is, just to see what happens. Just nonchalant, just being part of the atmosphere.
Okay, so you're all just kind of hanging out. Marza, what about you? Are you doing anything specific from inside that room, or leaving the room, or staying in there?
Kind of stick by the door, but do her best to make sure that she wouldn't be seen immediately upon entry.
Okay.
If someone were to come in.
Give me a stealth. All right, so you're all kind of just waiting at this moment. So Elias, was there something else you wanted to do?
So
I am
what
gone
Elias
now.
He's gonna do now is he's gonna indicate to Marza, you make sure they find me. And
No, you can't see me. I'm gone.
I know, but he's gonna kind of assume you're there and let people know that. And then he's gonna go downstairs.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and move yourself on the map, Elias, since you are interacting with stuff and going downstairs, so that I can see where you go.
Do I have to make, I think it's an intelligence check to know that it's an illusion?
So you guys would see Tarina come
How do I
out.
open doors?
You just click on it. Click on it once and then it'll open.
I'm gonna look at Rati. Oh, Rati, here's hoping this goes well. I might need your cover soon, but you can at least follow me and get some insight.
I suppose. And Vati will stand up and just let the chains drag as he runs or walks.
I'll follow them down at this point because I
Some
don't
distance,
want
just
Vati
been
going
quite
close.
badly. My vision cut out for my token. Can you put it in the lobby in front of the person looking for Tarina?
You just move from floor 2 to floor 1.
As I come downstairs, what do I see? Do I like? Because it looks like they are just kind of standing in a circle. Are they like throwing things over, or?
Staying up there, or do you coming down too, Doggy?
So as you guys come downstairs, so I would assume, what order are you coming downstairs?
I'll go down first. So
So
I'll be
let
the
me
first
just
one.
put.
Being first, actually. He wants everyone else like at least 10 feet behind them so they can look more like curious bystanders.
Yeah, it's up to you guys where you want to be and what you want to do. But I'm going to put you back here, Elias, at just the front of the stairs just real quick, just so I can describe what you see down here. So as you get downstairs, you see a gentleman right here where I'm pinging, who seems to be in charge because he pipes up right away, and he looks like that. So he has a scar over his right eye, a black beard, and typical pirate's hat on. And he motions to a couple other people who are here throughout the room. And you see 4 other pirates around the room. And he says, "Oi, Rhonda! There you are. We've been looking for you."
Indeed.
Now, are you going to come quietly, Rhonda, or is this going to have to get ugly?
Let's do this as discreetly as possible.
What is, and he kind of, as you say that, let's do this as discreetly as possible. He kind of glares at you for a moment. What's your, the DC on your disguise self? What's your spell
It's
DC?
not going to be very high.
What is your spell DC?
Wouldn't it be Wisdom plus 10, I think? I forget the formula.
Let me look real quick.
It's 8 plus proficiency bonus, usually, plus whatever the spell casting modifier is. So probably your wisdom.
It's 13
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
So, he is going to roll this. Rolls an intelligence check. And he says, "Right, well, I'm glad that you can see things my way, Tarina. Come, let's be off." And as he beckons you to come, the rest of these pirates will surround you. It's off to this uncivil serpent for you.
Indeed.
Would I know that name, the Uncivil Serpent?
Give me an intelligence history check.
Probably not. I got an 8.
Yeah, nope, you've never heard of the name.
Okay.
Alright, so I wasted invoking Twisty, but is it still live? Just with the other train, or how does that work? I'm assuming it's been a minute.
I would say that all this happened pretty quickly. It hasn't been a minute just quite yet. But would you start walking out with them, or would...
Oh yeah, I'm getting peaceful for now. We don't want to have the tavern roughed up.
Okay. And they'll start walking out, and as Deadeye starts walking here, he'll kind of like tip his hat towards the armor, and you'll hear this pirate over here say, "Well, that was easier than we thought."
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Possibly. Well, so do I know? Could I make a check actually to see if I know the pirate, perchance?
Yeah, you can give me a history check, an intelligence or history check.
God, I just suck tonight. Okay.
Never heard of him.
But I can see he's a pirate. Does anyone in the room look like any of the other tavern owners look surprised or even are they even bothered by the current situation?
Give me an insight.
This is reaching, but Dolakesh is from the Nalanther Isles, which, if I know my lore well enough, is kind of like a pirate hub. Would I be more familiar with this guy possibly as well?
I would give you advantage on a history check. Vati, your insight just into the other patrons and Alan up here and everything. They don't look surprised, but they're definitely focused on the situation.
And they you said they had some weapons and stuff on them, right?
Yeah, every patron in this tavern pretty much has weapons on them.
So I'm gonna just yell out 100 gold to the person who brings me the captain's head.
And okay, and you said Dolakesh got a 22. So really quick, we'll deal with Dolakesh. So your history check, you know that this is you're pretty sure Captain Deadeye. And Captain Deadeye is currently the captain of the Uncivil Serpent, which you recognize that name as a very famous pirate ship. And he used to be the first mate of that ship until Captain Cesprin was mysteriously vanished, 6 months ago or so. And since then, Deadeye has been captain of this famous pirate ship, which has sailed all over the seas. So that's what you know.
I know the name of the old captain.
Yes, Captain Cesprin. And I'll put that in chat.
So, Vati did his thing already?
Yeah, Vati did this thing as you're kind of recalling this information. And then you hear Vati say what he said.
So I open my mouth to talk, and then Vati shouts out, and I'm just like, and then I put my hand by my pouch for my emerald focus, getting ready.
So what I am going to need from everybody is going to be initiative here.
Do I have them at least off guard because they think I'm moving peacefully?
Possibly.
So I'm going to try something of come, let's get out of this.
Well, right now we're going to enter initiative. And then we'll see what people want to do on their turn.
5 on my initiative.
Sorry, the 22 was actually my initiative. I just had Dolakesh picked.
So re-roll initiative for yourself, and he can change it.
Okay, Dolakesh, you were a 5.
Correct.
And Igvis, you are 6.
I was 22. I just had Dolakesh's token selected when I first rolled.
Yep. Okay, so I have Igvis, Elias, Dolakesh, Vati, so I need Honed and Marza.
I can't select my token. I don't even see it.
You're probably on the second floor still, so you're got to go upstairs.
Click, just click floor 2 and you should be able to see yourself.
It just told me that there was no encounter available.
Oh, okay. You know what? It's because you're on a different scene, but it's okay. Just keep your initiative there, and
Okay.
I'll reference it. Then all that fun stuff, of course.
Did you want those private still? Because they're
No.
currently not private.
No, that's okay. So he actually has a plus, so he'd be there. All right, we will begin here. So, Igvis, you are up first. Vati yells out 100 gold to whoever brings me the captain's head. And you see Deadeye pull out a scimitar along with the rest of the bandits. And he says, "What did you say?" As they all point their scimitars at Vati, towards Vati.
Okay, so I think what I would like to do is I'll just stand next to Vati. I'll use a key point to do patient defense. And I'll hold my attack in case somebody actually gets within range.
Okay, sounds good. So this guy is up first, who is right there, actually. And he actually moves within range of you as he moves right up to Vati with his scimitar. And he goes to attack Vati with that scimitar.
So I'll immediately then use my sword to stab at him.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and give me an attack.
Uh, 20 to hit.
20 will hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Wow, 4 points of damage.
Woo!
Min rolls. Gotta love them.
So you hit him for 4 points of damage, and then he attacks Vati with the scimitar. He rolls a 9 to hit, which will miss Vati.
I just dodge, and kind of like my chain moves as I dodge to kind of make like more noise.
Nice. Elias, you are up, and at this point, your disguised self wears off, and you're now Elias.
Wait, I thought I had up to 10 minutes of that.
1 minute, I thought, right?
The invoke duplicity is a minute. The disguise self lasts up to an hour.
Oh, sorry. Your disguised self would still be up then. My bad. Yeah, it's an hour.
So I'm going to try to chuckle a bit. Okay, and I'm going to look at the captain. He's a bit of a local crazy person who thinks I'm his former lover. Really not worth your effort or time.
Okay, give me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
I did a deception.
That's fine too. Deception at disadvantage, though.
Okay, I'll roll again.
Okay.
Can I use inspiration to counter the disadvantage? Because I think I still have that saved up.
If you have inspiration, you can use it to re-roll.
Would it be at disadvantage again, or?
You'd basically roll just that 5 again.
Where would it indicate if I had it? Because I've never used it when I've had it before.
There's like a little sun that appears in the inspiration box. If you click it, it'll appear. If you click it again, it'll disappear. So if you have the sun, that means you have inspiration.
I don't think I have it then. Never mind.
Okay.
I was saving it, and then I guess I just never marked it.
All right. So that is you. So you say that, and then do you want to do anything after you say that?
I'm guessing that I've seen it didn't work.
Yeah, he seems pretty angry, and you can see everybody is kind of looking towards the others over there.
I'm gonna run and be like, "Thanks for the distraction, Vati," and just sprint.
And you're gonna sprint.
Yeah.
Which direction are you going?
I'm running out of the tavern.
Okay.
Very clearly saying that you're right. This small dick of a pirate would never catch up. Was so easily distracted.
Okay.
Very loudly as I leave the door. By the way.
Okay. Okay, and so that was what, 50 feet there of movement?
Yeah, you talking, which I believe is a bonus action, and then full round move.
Okay. And as you get out there, you can see these three over here around the corner. And they kind of look at you, look at each other very confused, and then say, "Oh, let's get her!" So this one over here draws... well, actually, he already has his scimitar out and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll move here next to you, and we'll swipe at you, Elias.
I do have one quick question.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have heard the whole $100 for his head, so you think they would have maybe just tackled him?
Well,
They want to try and capture her, right?
he looks like Tarina. So, and they do attack Tarina.
Whoa. Would they have
Fair
attacked on sight, or would they have tried to take peacefully like the captain?
They do attack Tarina.
Okay.
That is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
For 6 points of damage.
All right.
And as he attacks you, for disguise self, is it just for
I think
him?
it's concentration, so I have to roll.
You looked into the spell. It's just they fail to hold up the physical inspection. So he attacks you, and then he sees through your disguise. The other two kind of still see Tarina, but he sees Elias. But I don't know if is disguise self concentration.
I think it's concentration.
I don't think so.
I don't see anything that says
No,
concentration.
it's not.
You can just drop it.
So it's not concentration, so it's still up. But he says, "Wait, you're not Tarina? What is going on here?"
Whoa, he has to use an action to discern my appearance, which means he can't attack.
Well, if he physically interacts with you, it just...
Is that one in rules as written?
Yes, it's in paragraph 2 or 3.
Because it fails
2.
to hold up to a physical inspection, not a swing of the sword.
Right. Anyone who touches it would feel nothing or feel your head. So if anybody basically physically interacts with you, they would...
Did she have a hat or a hair? Because I think he just swung his sword at my torso, and she has a torso too.
Dang. You mentioned earlier you did alter self. Did you do alter self or disguise self? Because alter self is concentration.
Disguise self. But no, I would say that he would realize that it's not you. You know, he can swing his sword at you, and you're appearing shorter than you might be, or taller than you might be, or your limbs are longer or shorter than they are. So he's swinging his sword and noticing it's not contacting until later or earlier. So, you know, it's just not right to him, and that's enough for him to kind of see through the illusion.
All right.
But okay, where were we? So that was him. He's done. This one's up. That is outside. And he will move here. And he's going to point his sword at you, Elias, and say, "Where'd she go? Where'd Tarina go?"
She's already in the outer city, you idiot.
Give me a deception. Okay. Says, we'll have to deal with her later then. You! Give yourself up!
Very well, I'll give myself up if we leave the tavern peacefully now.
You don't give the orders here. Sit against that wall. And he'll point over here to this wall.
I'm afraid if you want to take me alive, we'll just leave peacefully now.
And as you say that, he will swing his scimitar at you. Uh, 13 to hit you, Elias?
13 does not hit Elias, actually.
Cool. So he misses you with the scimitar. That is his turn. This one's up. And he's going to... Well, he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to double move there. And that's his turn. This guy over here is up. He's going to move here up to Vati. And he's going to attack you, Vati.
Sounds good.
And he'll miss. Deadeye is up.
I did have a 12 for initiative, but I'm just chilling anyway, so it's cool.
Yeah,
It just didn't put me in order for the same reason as
completely
Hone,
forgot about both you and Hone, to be honest. So let's go through the round, and then I'll have both of you move, because I assume you're probably going to move to start going downstairs.
My hide roll was just so good.
And then,
It feels like such a
well,
waste.
at the end of the round, I'll let you guys.
Stealth roll.
I'll let you both go. And then I can get you in the initiative order. If you come downstairs, I'll be able to insert you there. Okay. Deadeye is going to 2, 3, 4, 5. Move there. And he will attack with his scimitar twice at you, Ignis.
Cool.
Oh, he rolled a nat 1. So we're going to roll a d20 to see if... okay, he does not critically fumble.
Well, I was going to say it's at disadvantage anyway.
It's at disadvantage.
I took the dodge action, essentially.
Oh, okay. So you know what? That 1 in the 18 would be his disadvantage. So I'll roll again to see if he crit fumbles.
Yes!
Lamau?
So, okay, cool. So, critical fumble table. We're going to go ahead and roll, see what happens here. Oh, geez.
This is going to be worth all of my gold. I can't wait.
Character automatically hits and deals damage to nearest friendly character. If it's a melee attack and no friendly characters within reach, he does it to himself. Well, he's going to attack you, but it's going to swing and hit this guy that's in front of Vati instead. Oh, poor guy. So he hits him with his scimitar.
Wait, doesn't it say friendly person first? Friendly characters within reach? Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, so he hits his friendly character right there for 4 points of damage. And he shouts out and says, "Oi, boss, why'd you do that? He says, just keep focusing on the big one over there, loudmouth. And then he comes and attacks you with a second attack, Igvis, at disadvantage.
Yep.
So it's that plus. All right, and a 7 will miss you. All right, that is him. He is done.
Patient defense already paying off.
This one is up. He tries to actually push through this guy here, but this guy here, who is a big, burly half-orc, stands up and basically pushes him back and says, "Oh, I don't think so. I'm going to have some fun with this." And he pulls out a weapon. And then this guy will go ahead and will attack the half-orc. A 7 will miss the half-orc. Okay. That is his turn. Dolakesh, you're up.
So, seeing this captain just nail his own dude and then completely whiff, I'm going to kind of let out a hearty laugh. Seems Cespin is turning in his grave if this is the new leadership. And I'm going to cast Hex on him with my bonus action. Give him disadvantage on strength. And then I'm going to point one finger straight at his face, and I'm going to blast him.
Awesome. Go ahead and give me a roll. $15 to hit. 15 will hit. For 8 points of damage.
So it's 14 total, yeah.
And then the 6 is necrotic, right?
That's correct. And sorry, I have to tab out on my phone, so
Yeah,
sorry I was quiet. But yes, you got it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Anything else?
That'll just keep my position at the top of the stairs.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll move you back 5 feet so you're actually on the ledge. Stairs.
This guy is up. He is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to spend his entire turn getting on that side of you, Vati. Vati, you're up.
Okay. I'm just as a real quick thing. Oh wait, no, because bonus action is speaking. Damn it. Well,
no. If if you want to say something, you can just say it.
I will remind everyone in the room it's 100 gold for anyone, and I point to all of the pirates surrounding me, who brings me his head as I point to the captain. And then I'm going to activate my Crimson Right. So I will roll a d4 to light my chain on fire.
Awesome. Crimson Right.
I take 2 points of damage, and my chain in my right hand lights a flame.
Awesome. I love the Ghost Rider vibes. I just love it. Perfect.
That one that took damage from the captain, I'm going to make an attack with my chain.
All right. Give me an attack roll.
Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does hit.
So 5 regular damage, and then 2 fire damage as I wrap the chain around him and like whip it.
How do you kill him?
Oh, okay. If I'm killing him, I whip the chain around as it wraps around his body, and I pull. And as I do, it just kind of turns his body to ash as I pull it backwards towards me.
Awesome. As he disintegrates into the ground. Perfect.
Anyone else like to join their friend?
Roll me an intimidate.
That's a solid 8.
All right. They kind of look at each other nervously, and they tighten the grip on their scimitars. All right. At this point, let's get honed. So it's not you yet, Igvis.
No worries.
Honed. If you want to go ahead and take your turn.
Okay.
Are we able to also put him in the initiative at 18?
Yeah, once they appear on floor 1,
right.
then I can put them in. But because it's a different scene in the way that works.
That's unfortunate.
That's all my movement with the with my bonus action as well.
All right, and then Marza, if you want to go ahead and take your turn, what are you doing?
So I will move to the door and whisper to Tarina, "Stay put."
Oh, I wasn't planning on going anywhere.
And I can hear most of what's going on downstairs,
oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay. And then would that be my actions for the door?
The door would be an action, so then you would take your, just your movement, your normal movement.
Okay, then I'm done.
All right. Igvis, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to attack the captain, but I don't want to kill him. So if anything, I want to try and knock him out or take him down.
Okay.
So I'm still going to do a full round of attacks, but if I knock him out during the process, my next action is going to be then to tie him up.
Okay.
So we'll start with the short sword. 20.
20 will hit, yeah.
For 9.
For 9 points of damage. Okay. Hurts,
And
but
then
he's
I'll-
still up.
And then I'll take my bonus action to spend a key point, and we're going to go with a flurry.
Okay.
14 to hit.
14 will miss.
Okay. And a 16.
16 will hit.
For 7.
7 points of damage to Captain Deadeye. And it hurts, but he is a hardy fella.
Yeah, so essentially I put my sword through his arm and then take my other hand and bash him in his leg to knock it in.
He's like, oh, you'll pay for that.
And I'll take one step back, provoking his attack of opportunity to try and make sure that we can't be surrounded.
Okay. He is going to take that attack of opportunity. Oh, jeez.
This
Wow.
I'm just dodging like crazy, apparently.
He loves the nat ones. This is the worst captain ever. What is
Yeah.
this? 2 critical fumbles.
Kill your other friend, Captain.
No wonder he used to be the first mate. Jeez.
Yeah, he hasn't earned his sea legs yet. Jesus.
He should be swapping the deck.
He gains 1 level of exhaustion. As he kind of holds his arm, the arm that you stabbed him in, as he cries out in pain as it seems to be tired, the muscle as you kind of like sheared it.
I do have one quick question for Vati.
Yo.
When you take your damage from your Crimson Right, that can be healed back, or is that like a reduction to your max HP for the period?
No, it can be healed back. Yes. I can't resist that damage in any way.
Okay, I wanted to try something, but you've only taken like 2 points of damage, so I can't do it yet.
Yeah, no, it can be healed back. I just can't resist it. Like you can't like be like you resist just flat damage or something.
Yep. Okay.
Anything else, Igvis? Is that it?
Action, bonus action, took my movement. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. Honed, you're up. This is your proper place in the initiative order.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna move up. And is this a redheaded guy? Are we fighting him, or is he just a bystander?
So when you come down here, you see these guys over here seem to be focused on Vati. This guy is nursing a pretty bad wound, but he seems to be giving orders to people. This redheaded guy is just sitting down at a chair right now, and he's kind of pushed himself back a little bit on the chair. This half-orc here has a mace in his hand and is eyeing up the captain, and this guy right here is attacking the half-orc.
Okay. I'm just going to end my turn here.
Okay, sounds good. So this half-orc says, "Right, time to get into the fray now. That 100 gold is gonna be mine." And he
Try not to kill him, please.
he swings his mace at the captain. He swings it twice at the captain.
I was gonna say the head was figurative.
I like to believe that Vati behind you is like, no, it's not, but like mouthing it, but it's fine. I'll let you just say it.
So he hits once with his mace. For 4 points of damage on the captain. And that's his turn. Elias, you're up.
I'm going to try to walk back into the tavern, which I believe would invoke their attacks of opportunity.
Okay, so doing that will provoke all those attacks, but... so they will take those attacks here. So this is the first one. 13.
Miss.
Second one. 18.
Hits.
And third one is 12.
Miss.
So one of them hits, and the other miss, and the one that hits does so for 4 points of damage.
Alright, I'm still up.
All right, and then you can go ahead and move.
Is not tanky and is under half health.
All right. Go ahead and otherwise move yourself where you want to go.
What is the 30-foot move? Let me know when I've reached it.
Okay, you got one more. All right.
I'm going to drop my illusion because I think that's just a thing I have to choose to stop maintaining, or do I have to actually take an action to resolve it?
No,
It's an action.
Is it an action? Okay, so it would be an action to drop it.
And if that's the case, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going How far is the captain from me?
He is 35 feet.
It depends if you count from him or from like in front of him.
Well, Guiding Bolt will hit him regardless at 120 feet range. Okay, you are Guiding Bolting him.
Does a 14 hit. That's what it looks like is the actual hit.
14 will miss the captain.
Is it miss? Is it touch or just miss?
It's a miss.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's a ranged spell attack.
So you cast Guiding Bolt, and then it misses the captain. And you all see that flash of light just kind of go by the captain's head and by all of your heads, too. Okay, that's movement and action, Elias. So I think that's it for your turn.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Okay, these guys outside the tavern are up. 6. That one is going to come up to you, Elias, and attack you. $17 to hit
17 hits.
for 7 points of damage.
Elias is down.
All right, so Elias goes down. That is that pirate's turn. This one is up. And we'll take a double move to get there. This one then goes. And we'll double move to there. This one here attacks you, Vati. Uh, 10 will miss you.
I'm just like dodging all over the place.
The captain is up. Can the captain roll another nat 1? I don't know.
That's on. I mean, honestly, that's at this point. Yeah, that's his goal. I think.
The captain is.
He is exhausted.
Yeah, he's gonna step here, and he's going to attack you, Igvis.
I kind of have it a thorn in his side a little bit.
So he will attack you twice. Uh, 9 will miss.
Correct.
These rolls, though.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love them.
17?
17 will hit.
Okay. For that much damage. For 9 points of damage. You'll say, "Right, boys, we have them now!" And
Lamau.
this one will attack the half-orc. Uh, 22 will hit the half-orc. For 4 points of damage. And the half-orc is still up. Dolakesh, your turn.
Does the captain look right now?
He still looks pretty hardy. I mean, he's bloodied and bruised, but he still has a fire to him.
So I just got to count squares here real quick. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Okay. I would like to maneuver myself to opposite the pirate that's above Vati. And actually more of like a, so yeah, and then actually one to the right of that, so diagonal from Vati, unless that's a table.
So this is a table right here.
Would it be a check to just like step up on top of the table?
You can give me an acrobatics, and as long as you can make a 5, an athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Oh God, watch this, guys.
As long as you make a 5,
I'm
you're
ready.
good. Nat 20.
I just
Impressive.
I just step up onto a table, the most graceful you've ever seen.
Like a ballerina.
Your wings worked.
Right. And then actually one to the right of that, my goal is to breath attack without hitting Vati. It's a 15-foot cone. Can I essentially angle that so it hits the 3 pirates and not Vati?
Yes, if basically your cone would go this square, then this square, this square, this square, and then this square, this square, this square.
Dope. So I'm actually gonna like kind of dash a little bit, just kind of like sweep underneath them, but right by them, step on a table, turn around and whisper, "You should have taken the money." And then you're gonna see my eyes glow purple as I inhale and let loose a purple flame from my mouth, engulfing them.
Awesome. So for that, for your breath, I have to make a save, right?
Sorry, yes, it's a dex save. I'm getting the DC for you. I think it's 12 or 13, but hang on.
Okay.
DC 12.
All of them fail. For 5 points
5 psychic damage.
of
5
psychic
psychic
damage.
So you almost see like instead of flames, you almost see like a wispy energy flow out of my mouth and kind of seep into their eyes and seep into their ears and strangle their minds.
As they stare at you in terror, and their free hand comes up to hold their head. Give me an intimidate check.
$21.
Cool. All right. Anything else, Dolakesh?
That'll be my glorious turn.
All right. This one is up, and he is going to run. You would be able to get an attack of opportunity. You'd be able to take an attack if you want, Vati.
Absolutely. I'm going to take an attack. Are you kidding me?
You want one too, Dolakesh? Maybe
I get one.
A claw swipe.
I've got sickles.
Yeah, if you want, you can take one.
That's awful.
So that will miss. Vati. Dolakesh gets a 14. 14 will hit. For 4 points of damage, which is not enough to take him down. Though you slice him, like in the arm as he's like hobbling out, holding his arm, and he drops his weapon as he's just focused on running. Elias, do you have a weapon in your hands? Oh, no, wait, sorry, you're down.
He's not
Elias is dead.
Yeah, I forgot, you're down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he runs. Vati, you're up.
Okay. I'm just going to attack this one.
Okay.
Does a 23 hit?
A 23 most definitely hits. And you can just see the terror in his eyes as you're attacking him.
So that's 4 slashing and 4 flame.
Nice. And how do you kill him?
Same way I did the first dude. It just wraps around him and I pull it and then he just turns to ash in front of everyone.
Awesome. As he screams and
I'm gonna go ahead and give Vati like a smile and a wink.
And I'll give I'll just kind of chuckle as I get the wink from Dolakesh.
Marza, go ahead and take your turn now.
Yeah, I probably can't get that a dagger past Vati, can I? Or Igbis.
You could throw a dagger down there, like through the banister steps. I'd say they'd have cover to it, but you could throw it.
Yeah, why not?
Cool. Give me a roll.
We'll go for the captain.
Do you want to count it as half, 3/4 cover? Which one?
Does not matter.
Okay.
That did not hit.
That will miss. Okay.
But I do have 2-weapon fighting, so I'm gonna try with another one.
Okay.
I keep forgetting I have 2-weapon fighting.
15 will miss.
I think with 2-weapon fighting, it has to be either a simple weapon or a weapon you're proficient with. But I think we made the chain your whip, didn't we?
Yeah, we made the chains my whip.
Right.
All right. So you throw your 2 daggers, and both of them miss. That's movement and your attacks. So is that it for your turn?
Yep.
All right. And I think your initiative was 12, right? Originally?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I put you back into the initiative tracker now. Igvis, you're up.
All right, so I'm tempted to do something, but I just want to know, even for flavor reasons, if I could. Since I have my wings and I can travel 40 feet, would I be able to reach Elias? In a direct line, he's 40 feet from me. But I'd have to basically go up over the captain and then through.
Yeah.
I'd probably provoke attack as opportunity from all 4 of those guys, but I was just wondering if that was even possible.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, I'd let you do that.
Yeah. I'm real tempted, but I don't think I can take 4 attacks. So.
Elias is really not tanky, so I'd wait a bit to see if any of them die, because he's still got 3 death fails before he dies for now.
By the way, roll those secretly. Remember, I don't want to know if you're failing or not. So I'll just start swinging at the captain then, because I need to try and thin them out before I get to him then.
All right. Go ahead and give me some attacks.
19?
19 will definitely hit.
For 4. And then I'll make my bonus unarmed strike against him as well.
All right.
Oh, well, 24 will definitely.
That will hit.
For another 4. Wow, I got minimum on both of them.
It just shows your intent, Igvis.
Yeah, I don't want to kill him.
And,
And,
he's still up.
And then I think what I'd like to do is shift around him. To there.
Okay, so you'll take an attack from him.
Yeah.
From the captain. All right. $14.
I will miss.
All right. And that is your turn.
Yep.
Honed, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna move, and then I'm going to attack. Give me a second. Alright, I'm gonna be attacking the captain, I guess.
All right, sounds good. He did some eeny, meeny, miny, mo there.
How'd you know?
14 will miss.
Alright.
Is this considered flanking for him, or is it not?
No, it is not.
It needs to be there.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All right. Is that it, Honed?
Yes.
Okay. This guy is up, the random half-orc, who is
Come
trying
on,
to get
NPC dude.
his 100 gold. He gets advantage, too, because of Vati. Gonna get me some 100 gold!
Wow, my bargaining skills are top tier.
And he gets 2 attacks.
Sounds like he's stronger than us.
Which is precisely why I hired him.
23 for the first attack. Not so good on the second one. But he does hit with his mace. For 6 points of damage. Woo! And that hurts. Elias, give me a death saving throw.
Are these just con saves?
No, so a death saving throw, you just roll a flat d20, and if you get a 10 or above, it's a success. Less than a 10 is a failure.
The odds are slightly in your favor.
GM?
Yep, I see it. So Elias...
Can you message me the meaning because I don't know that.
What?
Can you message me the meaning because I don't know it and I want to keep the suspense?
Okay.
So public knowledge is that when you're in death saving throws, you roll the d20, and if you do 3 successes, you stabilize at 1 HP. If you do 3 failures, you're permanently dead.
Okay.
A 1 would count as 2 failures, and a 20 would count as automatic 3 successes.
Okay.
Okay, so Elias, that is your turn, though, to make the saving throw. So next turn, you keep going. So this one uses both of his actions to get over to where he got. This one is going to move this way. And he will attack.
Real quick,
Yeah.
that pirate was also in the intimidation from Dolokesh, so I don't know if that changes anything for you, but I just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, at the moment, it doesn't change anything.
Cool.
The overriding smell of piss in the tavern.
21 to hit Igvis.
Yep.
For 2 points of damage.
Thank God. All right.
Big oof.
Big oof. Okay, that is his turn. Marza, you are up.
Alright, I'm gonna make another throw at the captain.
Okie dokie.
And I will miss again.
That will indeed miss.
And then I'll use my bonus action to do the next one.
Throw in all the daggers.
I have so many.
17 will hit.
Oh, not sure why it gave me the sneak attack, but
So the 5 is the piercing damage, I think. Yeah. 5. So he takes 5 points of damage. Anything else, Marza?
no, that'll be all.
All right, he's looking pretty hurt right now. This pirate is going to attempt to run. So Vati, Igvis, Honed, you will all have a chance to take an attack on him.
Around and just gets fucking
Nat
jumped.
20, let's go. Nat 20, let's go.
Boy.
I'm going to obliterate these pirates.
Yeah, I'm not going to move him all the way over there. 20.
Oh my god, being owned.
Oh boy, you both crit him.
My God.
You both crit him.
I'll
This
do
guy's
my
final moments are
Too bad I
agonizing.
wasn't the captain.
I'll do my roll real quick. Don't mind me.
Yeah, as
Oh, God.
and Igvis crit fumbles. You both crit, and Igvis crit fumbles. Wow. Igvis, character automatically hits and deals damage to the nearest friendly character. So
I'm hitting Vati.
You're hitting Vati. So Vati and Honed both obliterate this guy. You guys can roll damage, and then Igvis stabs Vati with his short sword.
Minimum damage. I'll take it.
So how did crits work? It's double damage, right?
Yeah.
It's double the dice and then
damage
add your
dice.
multiplier. And
So-
then add your modifier.
So, like, if you're 1d4 plus whatever, you're 2d4 plus whatever instead.
Click the damage button in the critical roll. It should automatically do the crit damage.
All right. So that is 10 damage from Vati and
He's 13.
13 from Honed.
Yeah, that's correct. One hand.
All right.
And Vati, I hit you for 4.
How much did you hit me for?
4. Add minimum roll.
Yeah. So as you guys, Igvis stabs Vati in the gut with his short sword as Vati and Honed both obliterate this guy with a whip and a battle axe.
A chain and a battle
A
axe.
chain and a battle axe. How do you do this with the chain and the battle axe? What is this combo?
So I'm gonna do like I did before, where I hold the chain that I hit him with the fire, and just hold him there, and then I watch it, and then Hone, do what you're gonna do.
I'm just gonna come across and just smack the guy's head right off.
Awesome. So, like, the chains, like, around the neck as Vati's holding him there, just give you the perfect plane to just kind of slice directly across the top of the chains, you know, at the perfect angle.
Yep, exactly.
And just completely decapitate this guy.
So, like, you lay your hammer down on the, like, loose part of the chain and just run it along, and it makes, like, sparks fly into his face and shit, too.
Love it.
His final moments were not fun.
No. The captain is up. The captain... Let's see. The captain is going to say, fall back to the serpent! Fall back! And he is going to withdraw.
I telepathically message him as he's saying that.
You can.
I essentially want to try to mock him and goad him with, could never quite measure up, always living in his shadow, aren't you?
I love it. And he can't respond, but...
But he looks
in his
furious.
He looks scared, is what he looks right now.
Okay.
This guy is going to also withdraw and move there.
Oh, did he disengage?
Yeah, disengage.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
we all took our opportunities already, so he can just keep running.
Well,
Oh, true.
he's going to disengage regardless, not understanding what an opportunity attack is.
Fair enough.
Dolakesh, your turn.
I'm just gonna point one finger right at the right in the center of his back where his heart should be, and I'm gonna say, "Where do you think you're going?" And I'm gonna shoot him.
Let's see this roll. A 10 will miss.
Unfortunate.
That was almost an 18, damn it. I will... follow. I want to go south around Vati and between Honed and the half-orc as far as I can.
Like there?
If I can't go past the half-orc, I just put me next to him. That'll be my turn.
All right. This guy is already outside the tavern, and he runs off and away. Vati, it is your turn.
Okay, 1 second.
I just realized I can actually just click end turn when I'm done. I'm sorry, I haven't been doing that.
Okay, so you move there.
And I'm going to make an attack on the captain because I have 15-foot range in my chain whip
Awesome.
with my long arms.
A long-arm chain-whipping vestige of death. 18 will hit.
So 9 damage on the first whip, 2 fire.
So 9 and 2, or 9 total, 2 of it fire?
9 total,
Yeah.
2 of that is fire.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll use my 2 weapon fighting with the other chain.
Okay.
I wonder if there's like a whip mastery feat where you can like wrap it around limbs.
20 hits, right?
That hits.
And then I do 5 more damage, just regular with the...
Okay,
chain.
so now the question is, this damage brings him down. So I looked up the rules after last session. So actually, when you bring a character to 0, you can choose whether it's non-lethal or lethal at that time. So since you are bringing him below 0, do you want this to be lethal or non-lethal? What would Vati do?
As of right now, I'll make it non-lethal. But I do want to break one of his legs when that happens, if that's possible.
Okay. So you do that, and you like basically snap his femur as he cries out in pain, but and goes unconscious.
And then I'm just gonna kind of yell out 5 gold for every pirate that isn't killed by me. Kind of looking at the orc next to Dolakesh.
Sounds good. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Igvis.
Well,
So
I
I'm
kind of
just
just robbed that orc of his kill, though. I'm just kidding.
I'm just gonna fly directly to Elias, going through both of their attacks. If you want them to.
Elias rolled a nat 20 and is low key back up and looking for an opportunity to strike.
I don't know that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I wanted to keep the suspense like you asked for.
No, you're totally fine. It's just I don't know that, so I'm still going straight to you.
I know, it's just gonna be real awkward when you get there and like he's like awake.
Looking at the ceiling, questioning his life.
Well, like I was gonna use another. I was waiting for the pirates to come by so I could shoot them out the door.
Elias is just sitting there staring at the ceiling like, I don't think I like being Tarina very much.
You go to do your healing punch, and he's just like, wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Covers his face. Not the face!
Igvis, you fly over there. That's your movement. You get over there, and you see that it looks like Elias is breathing. Barely. He, spits up some blood.
Well, glad to know you're not at least out.
I was for a minute there.
I'll take one more step and then throw a dart at this one then.
Okay.
Ooh, 22 to hit.
22 most certainly hits.
For 5.
For 5. Yep. And he's still up.
Yeah, that's the only action I'm going to take, so.
Honed, you are up.
I'm going to attack this guy.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack.
Not 20.
That is a crit. Your second crit of the night.
Oh,
Woo! 17? Is that 17?
well, you said it was one-handed, right?
One-handed, right?
Yeah, it's one-handed.
But that's not crit damage.
So it's 4 plus another 4 plus another 2. So it should be 10.
Yeah, so it'd be my D8.
Yeah, sorry. For me, it's just showing up. It's showing that you rolled a 7 plus 3 is 10.
Oh, okay.
So roll
Just
another,
roll another
D8.
D8.
Because you get extra damage.
And a 6.
Awesome. So that's 16. 16 damage to this guy. And how do you kill him?
It's gonna knock his head off like I did with the other guy.
You're just like chopping off heads left and right, and they're just rolling on the
Call
floor.
him Babe Ruth because this dude's hitting home runs.
All right, so that's your action. Did you want to move as well, or stay where you are?
I'm just gonna stay where I am.
Okay, this guy over here, is shitting himself literally. He just watched two of his friends get decapitated right in front of him. He's counting. He's like, 1, 2.
And like 3 other people turn to ash.
Yeah. Like literally everybody right around him. This guy's like, oh, if I can't get the 100, that 5 gold pieces is mine. And he's going to run up here and attack this guy who's literally shitting himself twice.
He's attacking twice, or the man shitting himself twice?
Literally the joke I was going to make.
Both?
I was gonna say, I think
Can it
the
be
answer is
both?
just yes.
Yes.
So he hits once. For 3 points of damage. I call this one. Elias, you are up. You are awake. You are currently prone, though, so you'd have to stand up. If you wanted to.
So can I hit someone else with Radiant Bolt? Because I really want to hit someone.
Yeah, you could cast a spell. Who are you attacking?
Who's in range? I just haven't killed anyone this whole game.
Well, I guess the only one you really can see is the one that's right by the door trying to run away.
Yeah, Radiant Bolt that fast.
All right. Elias, a little bit of a dark side there.
Elias is tired, okay?
Bards can be dark.
There's a 15 hit.
Absolutely. And
I suddenly has eyeliner.
and that's 10 radiant damage. As this guy is obliterated and just dissolves into a spectrum of white light.
So was he the one who got me down, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
I don't remember at this point
Did
which
you say
one
it
got
was?
me, but sure.
I think it might be.
It might actually be, but
Yeah.
okay. This guy's gonna try to
I'm just gonna say
Run.
something like, "So we've gone peaceful."
he's gonna try to run like without disengaging so he can get out the door. So the half-orc's gonna get a chance to attack him first.
Get your gold there, orc. Half orc.
I swear to God, if I offered 100 gold and I only have to pay any of you,
21 will hit. For 4 points of damage, which is not enough to bring the guy down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Vati, you'll get an attack.
24 hit.
That hits. And he goes down.
Okay, I'm gonna let him like run past me, and right when he gets like near Igvis, like when he feels like he's almost free, I'm gonna catch him by with the flaming chain, and then drag him back as he slowly burns to ash, trying to like claw his way to freedom.
Brutal. Oh man, Vati out here playing mind games with his victims. Yeah, you do that. As the guy has a glimpse of hope that is quickly dashed. Okay, we can end combat there as the half-orc says, "No fair, that was supposed to be mine."
I toss the half-orc 10 gold. for your trouble.
Wall do good.
Vati. Sorry. Because Vati chose non-lethal, there's no risk of this guy making like saves or whatever, right?
Right. He is unconscious, but stable. 0 hit points, but stable. Okay. It is 12:50, almost 1 o'clock here. I think this is a good place to stop, and then we can start right from here, out of combat, and see what you're gonna do with Captain Deadeye over here at the beginning of next session.
It sounds good to me.
Makes sense.
Cool. All right.
Don't fight.
If you guys want to go ahead and say bye to the stream.
Peace.
Bye, stream.
Nay.
Bye, stream.
Peace, stream.